Okay, so I actually made sure to unmute my mic this time around. I muted for the intro, so you don't like hear weird stuff in the background while the intro and stuff is running when it says starting soon. But good evening, anyone and everyone who has joined the stream. So this is, if you'll remember, a couple days ago, this is a drawing that was picked from the 7 that I had cherry picked. They were all just drawings that I haven't finished yet, and I asked, which one would you like me to tackle first? And this one was chosen. Was a very big part of that. Oh boy, but anyway, so it is my full intention, with my pen in hand, to get cracking on this. Hello, Anye. How's it going? Look at that. Now that I'm actually streaming, I have regulars. Well, at least one. Well, no, at least like 3. At least 3 regulars. I'm hoping to reach more people. So if you can find the time in your night, I'd appreciate it if you would share this. Or something like that. Just something that'll help get the word out that I'm actually trying again. Alright, so before I even do the line art, I kind of was trying to figure out what I should do with the background. Because truth be told, I don't actually have an idea what I want to do. Like, I have like these little things. I have like the grass and this sidewalk on the right side and the Sapphire's next to a house. Like, I have those things. I know what I want to do there. But other than that, I really don't have a good idea. Also, good evening, Cindy. Boy, did I pick a robe was not the best thing to pick for this kind of stream because I am actually really hot. There we go. I think a tank top will be just fine. Alright, so before I even get too far, what should I do with this background? Because I kind of just put stuff here. The only thing I really want to keep is this pole that Sapphire's trying to climb up. And I guess like this edge of this building next to it. Other than that, I'm really not sure what to do. Because I have a sidewalk on this side and grass, and I was kind of gonna make like a city in the background, like a skyline, but I don't really know. If you have any other ideas, let me know. I think I'm gonna start doing this line art. I pretty much have like the majority of what I need to get done, because that's kind of just how far I got. So previously, yeah, I used a straight up picture of an action figure of Michael that I just posed and tried to put in the right perspective, and for Sapphire I used a 3D model. So let me turn off the line art. So this is the way it looked beforehand. Up here. Okay, so I'm probably going to have to look that one up. I know what up here is, but I'm gonna have to, there we go. I just want to make sure I get, like, it references. Ooh. Okay, so then maybe instead of the side of a building, maybe this could be the side of, like, a lighthouse. And this is, like, maybe it's a pole to cover the wires as the wires go all the way up to get the light working on the lighthouse. I think something like that might work if we're gonna go with this pier setting. So, are we in agreement on a pier setting? Because that's fine. Honestly, that'd be like super different. And thinking about something like Freddy vs. Jason, I feel like a pier would work really well in a horror movie setting to begin with. let me go ahead and download this picture because this is a kind of vibe. This is this is the kind of thing that instantly stood out to me. If this is what we're gonna do, I'm gonna just put that right there in the corner. I'm also gonna have to make sure I do a good amount of perspective. Yeah, I'm not good with backgrounds either. But I have no choice but to learn. I wonder if Photoshop has like a true just perspective mode. Alright, so it says we got 4 people watching right now. Alright, I'm happy with that. There we go. Sorry, it was kind of distracting me. I want the comments to actually be within the lightning border. But anyways, all right. So I think I'm gonna draw these characters first, and then figure out what I want to do. The background. So I'm gonna rename this. There, line art _CHR for character. And this, since I already know it's a blank layer right now, the line art BG. So I just want to get that far. Oh yeah. This was the oh yeah, that was a reference photo before I thought about using the 3D model instead. All right. So I'm gonna draw the pole with Sapphire as well because I feel like I should probably include it because it's not in the background, it's in the foreground. So I'm gonna do this the easiest way. You can just do it with the damn line tool. I don't see a reason to make this more complicated than it really needs to be. Ooh, you're playing Smash. That sounds really fun. I still have Smash for the Switch. I haven't played it in a good long while, but and everything's fun. Okay. So the pole has been drawn. I don't really need that right now. So I'm just going to merge these shapes. I'm gonna merge these 2 layers there. So now the pole is part of the character line art layer. Alright, so I think the way I'm going... First things first, let me move this slightly out of the way. That too. Alright, so I'm going to erase where her fingers are gonna be so that they don't overlap. So how has everyone's day been, by the way? Mine was fine. Honestly, I'm pretty happy because we're starting to get out of work at 4:30. I still stay until 5, truthfully, just so I can get the extra half hour of overtime. But we've been starting to leave at 4:30. Truthfully, we're in a bad position business-wise because we lost it. Well, I'm not gonna say too much, but like we just have less clients now. But it's good in the sense that us workers can now leave. Leave at a decent time instead of 10 or 12 hours. We can actually leave at 8 hours. Oh, no. I definitely want smoothing. There we go. Oh, that lines up well enough. So Cindy, are you playing Smash online, or are you just playing by yourself? work could have went better at the end, but I didn't let anything ruin my good mood. That's the master plan. That's what you do. Hell yeah. Because at the end of the day, it's work, you know? Work's always gonna do some dumb shit to you. But if you let it affect your whole day, there really ain't much you can do about it anyways, you know? Whatever happens is gonna happen. If you let it affect your whole day, you're not really gonna accomplish much, but just, well, making yourself super cross for the whole day. Woo! Come on. Actually, if anything, this line should probably be thicker. That's what the shading's gonna be. Yeah, so one of the things I think I'm gonna try to do, especially since we're doing something with a pier and a lighthouse, I'm going to figure out what my lighting direction is gonna be, and I'm gonna try to have like super harsh shadows. Because this is gonna be at nighttime, you know, it's a horror movie, it's gonna be set at nighttime. So, since the lighthouse is going to be coming from, like, this general direction and flaring outwards, I think the front of the characters, like the front and the bottom in particular, are going to have super dark, it's going to be super dark shading, and then, like, up here, like, the back and the top of them are going to be where the highlights are going to be. So, like, let's say Michael, like, I'll have his nose in highlight, and maybe like where his, where the upper side of the cheek bones are, but then like the lower part is gonna be in shadow and stuff like that. And I'm gonna highlight the lower eye holes of his mask. I think this is gonna end up looking super nice, and harsh shadows aren't something you usually see from me, so I think it's gonna be something super different. Damn, man, Cindy left. Well, she did say she was playing Smash Bros, but still, what the hell? I still like to chat, damn it. Now I think about it, if the lighting direction is gonna be up there, then this line really shouldn't be as thick as it is. At all. So I'm gonna see about thinning this out. Man, this is kind of one of those times where I really want to go get my earbuds. I think I might in a moment. Well, actually, no, because you know what? I might. We'll see. We'll see. I probably will in a second. I feel like these fingers might be a little too small. So, I'll take my lasso tool. Go around the fingers. Make them a bit larger. I'll change the interpolation to sharper. That way the fingers don't look significantly blurrier than anything else. There. Okay. Oh, okay. Now I understand why I drew it like this, because, okay. So this, actually... the rest of her forearm. Yeah, so I'm trying to create an effect where her hand is like this, where she's trying to grip on, but her fingers are almost like bending back a little bit because of the angle of her wrist. So I can't wait for it either, but at the same time, I'm kind of terrified. I hope it does, because I am genuinely kind of terrified. I really am. Oh, I do agree with you. Yeah, you never know unless you try. I do agree. I think I'm gonna make Sapphire's hair a bit messier, as if like she's been running away for a while, and this is her like last fucking thing she can think of to potentially get away. Also, how do we feel about her expression? Like, I think she looks appropriately fearful, but should she be like, should she be looking up where she's going, or should she be looking down at him? I feel like it does make sense for her to be looking down at him. You know, because she's gotten a pretty decent distance already. And you know, they do that a lot in horror movies. They go to fucking look back when they're running away from the killer. Yeah. Yeah, that's funny as shit. You know what? I could imagine that actually. Fucking, she's like trying her fucking hardest to climb. She looks down, and he's looking back up at her super like dispassionately. And then her like looking up, and like I don't know, like one of her feet slip, and she starts sliding down, and she's like, it's almost like a fucking cartoon. And then like she almost gets cut. She almost like gets cut in the ankle or something like that. Yeah, I can see something like that. That sounds exactly like the kind of thing she'd do too. God damn it! I'm trying to zoom in up here, and it keeps wanting to zoom into the middle of the screen. Oh boy. So what she's on, I guess we can call it a gutter. Because the idea is, well, because like the idea was for it to be a gutter that she's going up, because the building next to her is supposed to be a house. But since we're not doing a pier, I'm gonna say that it's sort of just a long ass tube that the wires run up to go towards the light. You know, it's just like a safety thing to make sure nobody bumps into them, like they don't get cut, they don't get like fucked up by weather or anything like that. No, we can just say something like that. I'm probably just gonna add like a rust texture to this. I'm not gonna be able to draw that shit out, but I'm probably just gonna add like a picture of like a rusty texture. Sure, sure. Okay. So she's looking down from this perspective. There's only like somewhere like here. So the curve of her teeth would sort of be. So if I'm looking at something like this, the curve of her teeth would sort of be flaring outward at this angle. So we're gonna draw that to be outward. There. And that looks good. So since this area is going to be in shadow, I think the line work should be a little bit thicker. So that's probably going to be highlighted right there, actually. So the bottom of her nose gonna be thicker because that's where the shadow's gonna be. All right. So this is the rest of her arm. I'm gonna add just a small, a little bit smaller than that. Yeah, just a very small indication of where her arm band is. Arm bracer, I don't know what the hell to call it, but Sapphire's gold, the gold bits are on her arms. Her biceps, I should probably say. That makes more sense. There. I had a brief thought about making this like a rainy setting, but truth be told, if I did that, I'd have to really like redo how the bangs are. Like they'd basically be like all over her face, and I feel like that wouldn't work very well. There, I'll complete the shape of her nose because the other side of her face you won't be able to see regardless. Actually, let me make sure of that. Can you see the other side of her face? No, I don't think so. Let me take these other layers off. Yeah, no, that's a gray of the background. So yeah, you can't see the other side of her face anyways. Okay, I just want to make sure. I do think I definitely overdid the curviness of her nose. I'm just not trying to have it, you know, I could always just make that strand of hair a little longer so that doesn't overlap and look really bad. So alright, so tonight it's already 10 o'clock, so I'm probably gonna be on for about another 15 minutes, and then tomorrow I'm going to go ahead and get back to the VFX work that I was working on yesterday. I'm gonna try and alternate day by day doing this and doing the VFX until that's done, because I really want to make sure that he gets his stuff. Now, there. So now her nose has a clear overlapping of her hair. And they're not like kind of bumping into each other, because that kind of flattens the image. That's something I learned in college. That's going to be in shadow, so we're going to thicken the line. I'm going to thicken this line too. I can't make the lines on Michael super thick. I'm going to keep his thinner than I'm going to keep hers, because he's a little bit more in the background than she is anyways. Like she's like much more in the foreground than him. I think of it. Is anyone still here? I haven't heard from anyone in a while. I had to figure out better hashtags and stuff like that, so I can get a little bit more in the algorithm. Okay. At least there's one person. Streaming to one person at the very least is a start. You'd think with almost 9,000 subscribers, I could get more than one person in a stream. That's alright though. Most of my subscribers are years old and probably don't even have like notifications turned on and stuff like that. They're probably subscribed to me before YouTube even made that a requirement. There. So I put her thumb there because it kind of feels like there isn't enough room for her thumb to actually be wrapped around like that. Although, because I don't know, I don't really like the way that looks, so we're just gonna... There we go. That looks better. Now it looks like there's a bit more room for her thumb to realistically be gripping. So... So what else are you doing besides listening in on stream? Because I think last time you were playing Hollow Knight, so I figure that's what you're doing. I still have hope I can finish these drawings by tomorrow. I'm going to. Oh, sweet! That is lovely. Speaking of tomorrow, tomorrow's actually my sister's birthday. So for her birthday, I'm gonna see if I can find a picture of her dogs in my phone, just the two of them. And I'm gonna have a display made of them. I'm gonna give that to her whenever they come in, probably be in like a week or so. If I planned it better, she would have had them. She would have had that display on her birthday, but that's alright. I'm also gonna pay some of her phone bill for her birthday too, so she'll be fine. So I think I'm gonna put maybe 150 on it this week, 150 like, yeah, 150, 140 next week. So I'm gonna give her $50 off her phone bill. Okay. What did you do to deserve me? What do you mean? Give her a hug from her favorite. I most certainly will. So that's gonna be where the little elastic strip on her pants are. Alrighty, so I'm gonna draw the other line that will give me where... There we go, I'm trying to get the line where the edge of the lighthouse is gonna be. I'm gonna get a little bit thicker of a line. There we go. I think that's fine. So I'm gonna get rid of that again. Alright, so it's 10:08. So I'm gonna be off. I'm gonna get off about 10:15. That'll give me some time to do any last minute things. There we go. So there's the strips of red and white that we're gonna have for the light pole. I'm gonna see if I can do like some white streaks. I just kind of want to see if I can make it look good. I'm gonna see if I can do some light streaks, like as if she's not too far from the top, and like the light is kind of leaking from up there into the camera. All right, let's get started on Michael. Damn, I should have put that kind of shit into the hashtags when I think about it. Hashtag Halloween, hashtag Michael Myers, stuff like that. Oh, sweet. We got 4 people watching. How y'all doing today? I'm working on this, so this is actually a drawing that I was working on around Halloween of last year. And I meant to actually post it everywhere on Halloween. But I spent Halloween actually playing Michael Myers. So, I was going around the neighborhood. So, I was actually going around the neighborhood giving candy to kids. And the reason we're doing that this year is that we really don't get many trick-or-treaters to our house at all. Like, we haven't for like the last couple of years. So since we have this candy, figure screw it. If they ain't gonna come to us, let's come to them. So I dressed up as Michael Myers. We walked the dogs. Actually, funny story. So we got up a couple of streets from our street, about 2 blocks up, and there was this group of kids coming the opposite way. So we're going this way. They're coming this way. So they see me, and one of them screams, "Michael Myers!" And then they all start running. They all start running this way, down an adjacent street. So here I am, doing my Michael Myers thing, just walking after them. I'm actually holding out, I'm actually holding out some candy. So I'm walking towards them, holding out some candy, and I don't think they understand that I'm holding out candy for them, because that's not what you usually do during Halloween. So they start running away. So me, since I'm in the mask, I can't have my glasses on, and I can't fucking see. So they run down the adjacent street, and I'm going after them, and I stop at the corner. So I'm like, you know what? I can't fucking see them anyways. I'm blind as shit, and it doesn't help that it's nighttime out. But it was so funny how scared they were. Cause I had to cross the street in front of a car trying to get these fucking kids candy, dude. I looked so fucking suspicious. I know I did. But actually, another thing that happened later that night, later on the walk, Mom and I decided, you know what? I'm gonna go see what my sister's doing, because my sister lives not too far from us. She lives about maybe a 10-minute walk away. So we went through the park with the dogs, and I got to my sister's house. But it just so happens, it's Halloween. There's a couple people out on her street. There was more people out on her street than there was on mine. So, I'm still doing my Michael thing. Some people like, "Hey, Michael," other people like, "Ah, it's Michael Myers." So, but the funniest person was actually the girl that was next door to my sister. She was probably about like maybe 16, I think. But she was like deathly scared of Michael. And when she saw me, she freaked the fuck out. She was absolutely terrified. So, since I'm going around giving people candy, I approached her on the porch. And I think it was her brother that was right next to her, and he's laughing his ass off because he's not scared of Michael at all. But I go to approach her, she's on her porch, and I pull out a lollipop and I go to give it to her, and she runs into the fucking house. She runs into the house and closes the door, still staring at me because her door has a window. So she's still there staring at me, and the guy's like, bro, what are you scared about? Like shit like that. He's like, here, get your lollipop. And I showed her that, that's all I wanted to do, because I gave one to her brother too. And it was the funniest shit. She was like, I don't do Michael Myers. I don't do Michael Myers. And all this shit like that. And I'm just sitting here like, I gotta say within character, but in my head I'm laughing my ass off. It was absolutely hysterical to me. It was hilarious. It took her quite a while to open up the door and get the candy. Then she ran back inside. So then I went to go visit my sister. I was like, "Hey, what's up? How's it going?" She was tired. She gave me a bag of Doritos. And I was actually on my way. And then I encountered them a few more times. Those same people from next to my sister's house. and then this guy that I came across, he was grabbing stuff from his car, and the motherfucker basically called me too short to be a stormtrooper. He was like, Michael is like 6 foot, and now mind you, I'm like 5'8", so I definitely wasn't fit in that bill, but that's alright. It'd be like that. Oh man, if you were there, you'd be dying. But that wasn't even the end of my night. Because after we went home, I was outside the house for a bit, for maybe like 20 minutes. Not many people came. I gave like these 2 kids a piece of candy, and that was about it. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Because there's a hair store across the street from me. So I go to the hair store. That was great. That was great. So I walk in there. I was honestly expecting to be turned away as soon as I walked in, because you know, on their front door they have a sign that says, "Please take off any hats and hoods when you walk in," because you know, because like any hood store, well, any store really, they have problems with people stealing shit. I was like, you know what? It's Halloween. Maybe they'll let me, you know, maybe they'll just let me do my thing. And they actually thought it was, they thought it was pretty funny, the guys at the register. So I just go through, just walking like not moving my arms, because like that's like the kind of psychological thing that makes you go, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Like everybody moves their arms when they walk, and his are just like stationary. But so I was walking through the store just like giving random people candy, and like there were these 2 girls that were up, because there's one register on this side of the store and there's another one on the other side. So these 2 girls are up at this other register and neither one of them are facing me. So I go to just like, so I literally just pull a lollipop, because I had a box of lollipops. So I handed this lady this lollipop. She didn't see me at first. She was like, I think she was in her phone or something. She looks at me and she goes, no, not tonight, not tonight. I ain't doing this shit tonight. So I just like kept holding up the lollipop, like, do you want this shit or not? Like, I didn't say it because I can say in character. That's essentially what I was trying to say. And the lady next to her took one, but she did, and I was like, alright, that's fine. Then I went to go scare some kids because they didn't see me coming. And that shit was also really funny. Thankfully this year there wasn't anyone that like said stupid shit to me, because the last time I dressed up as Michael Myers and went out in public, I had a really fun time right up until the end of the night, because I was actually working at Family Dollar at the time, and right at the tail end of my shift, it had to have been like maybe half an hour before the end of my shift, and these 2 ratchet girls came in, and I just happened to be at the front, and the first thing they do is they look at me and go, I ain't scared of you, and like all this other like shit, and I'm just sitting here thinking, okay, so what? You don't have to be. That's fine. I don't care if you're scared of me or not. Oh no, it just kind of put a damper on it, because like, why you gotta kill the fun? Like, why can't you just let me have my fun? I'm having fun. They're actually letting me dress as Michael Myers at work, and they're okay with it. Like, just let me have my damn fun, you know? It was annoying. But yeah, Halloween was super fun. Also, hello there. How's it going? I feel like I'm gonna butcher this name. I'm sorry if I do. But, oh boy, I'm scared to say this. So, Fabianarius. I hope I said your name right. If not, I'm super sorry. But hey, how's it going? It's a couple more wrinkles. All right, so I'm gonna end it off here for now. I'll be back tomorrow to work on those VFX a little bit. I'm probably gonna keep streaming around the same time every night, besides besides weekends, because streaming around 9 o'clock, 9:30, it gives me a decent amount of time to stream. It doesn't take up too much of your time. Then I'm only streaming for about an hour or so. And like I've been saying, I want to keep consistent at this. I haven't kept consistent with it for a while, but I'm trying to bring that creative side of me more. I'm trying to make good on my New Year's resolution this time around. And I think this is something super doable for me. Alright. So, for now, I would like to bid you adieu. Because I gotta get myself to sleep for work tomorrow. That said, I very much appreciate you watching. Thank you very much. If you can find the time, share this around. I would love to be able to reach more people and tell more stories like the Halloween one, while also working on my drawing stuff. So next time we meet, I'll be working on that VFX for Brick Legacy Ninja. I really want to get that done. And then the next day, we'll be returning to this very drawing. So I'm going to finish Sapphire's leg there. I'm going to figure out exactly how I'm going to do the background. And I'm hoping to have the line art done by the time that stream ends. So again, thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe, turn on notifications, all that other bullshit. And yeah, this has been XH Hedgehog, and I will see you tomorrow night, right around 9 o'clock to 9:30. So keep a lookout. Thanks again. Have a good night.